Good morning and welcome to Equity Story, the 3rd of May, Tuesday, and a super exciting day today. I'm by myself, and the reason is Equity Story is listing on the ASX today, and Dave is representing Equity Story. Super exciting, of course. Long time in coming. We're finally here. Big few months, years ahead. I'm here for the long term, so I can't wait to see how we're going to go over the next 2 to 3 years. Of course, we want to become probably the best boutique little place where you can get your ideas from. So absolutely, please join us on the journey ahead. All right, so that's going to happen at 11 o'clock. I'm going to get this video before then, hopefully out to you guys. But let's see what happens. Of course, the market hasn't been easy. We've seen that over the last few weeks. It's been volatile as up and down like a yo-yo. We had a little bit of a bounce last night, though, on the US markets, which was nice. However, probably a bit of a dead cat bounce because still, I think the risks are definitely to the downside. We've seen Dave showing us, the charts, how they've been going. So from that point of view, it looks like it's probably going down. Anyway, before I go into any stocks whatsoever, there's Equity Story disclaimer. Please have a quick read of it. Of course, any stocks we talk about today, it is basically purely based on the fundamentals of the story and the technicals of the story. So there's nothing personal in there whatsoever. All right, I'm going to switch off this screen and move on to what we're going to do is move on to the normal screen, which is I'm going to just get the other screen to show you what I'm looking at the moment. And I am going to be looking at some of these move and shakers, and we're going to go through some of the stories. There's actually been a few stories this morning. I want to start off with yesterday's story because yesterday we had AGL and we saw downgrades. Yet it was up yesterday, and I was like, scratching my head, obviously making a bit of a joke about it, that on a downgrade it's up, and I had no idea why. But now there's obviously some news coming through late last night, early this morning, that basically the team CEO is coming back to take about 11% stake. So I'm sure there was bill spin yesterday, hence it was up instead of going down. So he wants to derail the demerger from AGL and possibly, take it over at some point. So that's why it's up. I'm still probably not liking it anyway. So I'm just going to I'm going to actually put some charts on so you can see what's actually happening. But yeah, downgrades are never good. I don't want to get into downgrades. I want to be out of the story. The tendencies are it's going to go down even further. Without him there, without all that M&A behind it, this would be down, down, down. I don't think there's any doubt about that whatsoever. So let's have a look at the next story. And unfortunately, CWI downgrade from there. It actually has held on very, very well, I must say. I was expecting a bit more of a fall, but it hasn't been done too badly. And it's very, very slow this morning, the PC, but it's getting there. So that wasn't great. And that was basically to do with lack of workers, inflation, fuel costs. So costs are going up significantly. So they've downgraded the EBITDA, and it obviously doesn't look fantastic. But saying that, we'll see what happens. It's actually holding on quite well. And for some reason, my charting is just doesn't want to go this morning. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll get it going in a sec. Okay, so but I'll move on to the next thing. BKG. We'll go through these charts in a sec once it starts working. But BKG is next. Booktopia, another downgrade there, not going too well. It started with huge bang, right? When it first listed, it was a huge hot performer. Unfortunately, that was during the pandemic, which everyone wanted probably be staying at home, getting books to read. But now they're talking about that it's actually not going that fantastically well. So as a result, it's just been not performing at all. Anyway, we're not in it, but just letting you know that there's a few still issues in the tech space. It's still getting hammered. So from that point of view, I would certainly not be in there. In fact, if there was any good news coming out on any obvious tech stocks, maybe opportunity to lessen some, take some profits, or get out, because there's still a lot of pressure on the tech stocks. So probably no point being there right now. All right, I'm going to go back here because this is just not going at the moment. So CTD, next one. this space. So this is the travel space. It's actually going pretty well. We've seen Qantas getting up. We've seen Hello World. We've seen CTD. We've seen FLT. That was yesterday. We looked at some charts. They're going not too badly at all. So from that point of view, today announcement saying CTD saying that things are definitely on the up and there's improvement to be seen. So look, I'm watching obviously the space. You can probably look at some of the companies out there and possibly trade if there's a trade to be on. My two favorite stocks, unfortunately, are just not performing at all, and that's Serco, SKO, and the other one, SiteMinder, SDR. But I'd say with time, they'll definitely have to improve. I can't see them staying too low. So for me, watch the space with those two, with maybe 6 to 12 months time under its belt from here. Like I said, spoken about AGL, I'm going to look at some of the other stuff here. I'm going to have a look at Woolworths. Had not a bad performance. I think it probably looks better on paper, Woolworths than Coles. So from that point of view, it looks better than Coles, just on fundamentals itself, as in today's info. So I actually don't mind it, and let's see if I can get this up a different way. And this is so frustrating when you're trying to get things up, and the one thing that you want, it's not working. So I'm going to put it through here and see if I can get a little bit of a chart going at least. And let's have a look at Woolworths. So here's a little chart of Woolworths. As you can see, it's not too bad. It's going okay. So yeah, look, it's still a hold. It's probably going to still have your dividends in it as well. Maybe the dividend is not fantastic, but it's still got something in it. Defensive story, something to probably be still in it. So I'm going to chuck in the previous stock that we looked at, the CTD, just to see how it looks like. And that should look pretty good because we looked at it yesterday. As you can see, that's okay. It's down 3 cents today, which is not too bad, but generally speaking, it is holding on quite well. Go back to CWY. We need to have a look at that chart too. So let's have a look at that. So that's down only 5 cents. I mean, that's 1.6% on a 10 to 20 million downgrade. It's not bad. I mean, that's holding on very, very well, really. But still, I'd rather be out than in on this one at the moment, even though they talked about there's going to be maybe some M&A interest out of the story. Maybe that's why it's holding up fairly well. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to have a look at BRG, Breville. Again, a company that's presented today. I'm just having a look at some of the presentations that Macquarie, I think, is doing right now. It's not trending fantastically well, but it's up today, 24 cents, 1%. So another stock to maybe just have you on your radar if it's actually doing okay. But for the moment, I'm just having a look at some of the stuff that's actually trending. So we'll forget about that one for the time being. I want to have a look at Dexus. They had a slight upgrade today. Not going too badly at all. Probably another dividend story. As you can see, P of 8, almost 5%. It's not too bad on the charts, as you can see that right there. Bapcor, let's have a look at that one. I haven't even seen this, but reiterating its guidance. So lots of Macquarie presentations today. Again, in that space, you've got ARB, you've got GUD, BAP, and then they're not doing too badly. The actual auto industry is not, actually performing okay-ish. The only thing we've got, of course, is delays with the cars coming from Japan and other places. So the chain logistics issues are still real and current, but overall, okay-ish. What else have I got here? All right, let's have a look at some of the other stories on my list. ABB, this is an interesting one because remember they had the market didn't take it too well yesterday. It was a huge shellacking that they got. Well, it was a little bit of a bounce yesterday because they reiterated. They just wanted to just rejig what they've said yesterday about its guidance. So it's maybe not as bad as people thought today. So there's a little bit of a bounce there, but still, the market didn't take it too well. Probably I'd say by the end of the week. And we said yesterday, just wait, see what actually happens while it's tempting to sell. There's a little bit of a bounce. It might hold on by the end of the week. You just never know. So just be patient. Maybe wait till tomorrow, Thursday, to make a decision what you do with ABB if you are trending it. What else have I got? I've got, so DHG, let's have a look at that one. also presented. I just want to see some of these, if there's anything that's pretty poor, so we won't even talk about that one. Very important today, of course, is RBA meeting. Consensus says there's going to be a small rate rise. That's on the majority. I don't know whether there's going to be one. I think there's possibly could be one, but you know, RBA can go either way. They could wait another month and probably wouldn't matter too much, right? But they'll probably have to go if inflation figures are still persisting next month and even go higher. So they'll probably have to go next month if they don't do it this month. But at the end of the day, it probably doesn't matter if we go this week or in 4 weeks' time. The only thing it might help is possibly the current government, the Liberals. They don't want to probably have, just before the actual election, have a rate rise, and the Aussie dollar will probably still be under pressure because if there's no interest rate rises as yet, it's probably going to maybe even fall below 70 cents because it's come back about 7% odd since probably 2 months ago. All right, from that point of view, I think we know it's not a bad day today. There's a little bit of a bounce, like I said. Oh, sorry, of course, I forgot one. PPL, they had an upgrade today. Well, update, not an upgrade, an update today, talking about its performance. So I just need to talk about, of course, that one. Look, it's very good. I mean, that's the thing. This is why I'm sort of frustrated with some of these stories. And, you know, I don't have many tech stocks left, but PPL has been one of them, but I'm going to have to sell out because remember, under the trend lines, under 5 cents, we talked about it. You probably have to sell. It had a bit of a bounce today on a really good update, saying that up till 9 months, they're already ahead of the full 12 months they had in FY21. Obviously, they're going to have a much better year this year than last year. Positive EBITDA as well. So they are moving in the right direction. Pretty positive from that point of view. But the market is still just not interested in the tech story. So if this was a normal market for techs, this would probably be 10 cents plus by now. But it is what it is. So, you know, maybe when there's a bit of a bounce, you take an opportunity to get out and come back to it when it's actually trending, when there is momentum behind the story. So it's frustrating, but that's the market for you right now in the tech space. All right, on that note, I don't think I've got anything else to say. I'm just having a look through if there's anything else. I'm going to have a quick actually look for you guys. Let's look together to see if there's anything going up here. So we saw Pure Profile up 6.5%. We saw, 6.5%. We saw ABB up 6.5%. Any of us, so there you go. The SiteMiner SDR is up 27. Let's have a look at what the charts looks like actually on this, because that will be interesting. So you can see it's not fantastic, right? We wanted to see it above 540, I'd say, before we're going to get into it. This is one of the better tech stocks in the travel leisure space. So I'm definitely looking at this. Let's see if there's any other ones that we might be interested in that's actually doing okay for us today. All the way down. No, it's actually all the ones that we actually not in, had even a bit of a bounce. Dicker Data is okay. Matter Group is okay for us, of course. We've got that one. DGL's group is ours as well. PWH is going great guns. This is one of the best ones so far. PlayState, of course, is one of ours as well. That's looking good. It's still holding on, which is good. Let's see what else I've got here. Objective. That has been a, we said 15, I think, right? It needs to hold at 15. That's the last line of defense. So that we're still sticking to that. $15 for you guys out there. John Nix is going well. Yeah, and pretty much everything else is okay. So most of the stories that we've had since last week, the week before, probably the last month or so since the war, that we've been moving to the defensives, the valuation stories, the dividend stories, they're holding okay. So I'm happy to still be not in those stories. Other than that, any tech that I look like it's giving you a bit of a bounce or an excuse to get out, I'm getting out. All right, guys. Good luck to Equity Story today listing. It shouldn't be too far away. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you again. Actually, tonight, don't forget, please join us for the Ask the Analyst. I could be by myself. I could be with Dave. I don't know. If he gets drunk after the actual party, ringing the bell at ASX, you might not see him. I might be on my own. But anyway, join me. I'll see you tonight at 7. Other than that, have a great day. Cheers, guys.